In this video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know for your Maths GCSE Paper 2 Higher and Foundation. So you need to know how to add and subtract fractions. You need to know how to multiply and divide fractions, and you need to know how to find the reciprocal. And you need to know how to work with decimals, subtracting, adding, and dividing all sorts of decimals, and how to use a calculator. That's the easiest one. You need to know how to use the basics of a calculator, how to convert, how to find percentages with the calculator, and the best buys, like what the best value of a product is, and currency exchanges. So, for example, if you're given dollars, $1 is equal to let's say 24 pounds, then this is a currency exchange, and they're gonna say what is $2 or $3. That's the example that they will get. Now you also need to know the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. It has a method to it, and it's very simple. Also, you need to know what the product of primes is. So for example, you need to write 125 as the product of its prime factor. You're going to use a factor tree. So you also need to know what the indices are, the indices rules, and the laws that you need to use. If you check out my TikTok account, which is Majestical Maths, you can literally go there, and it has a whole little video that explains indices, laws, and all other math stuff. So you can just click on Majestical Maths and go on TikTok, and it's going to be, and please don't forget to follow it. So now what you also need to know is fractional and negative indices. This is also very simple. Now we're going to get to the hard stuff. So also you need to know how to write standard form. So you also need to know how to find percentage of amounts. So I need to know how to find the percentage change. You also need to know the simple interest, compound interest, reverse percentages, recurring decimals to fraction ratios, direct and inverse proportions, and proportional graphs. You need to know the limits of accuracy, surds, and product rule for counting. If you don't know any topic, please write it down, and you should learn it, because your paper 2 exam is coming soon. It's in about 2 weeks, and don't forget to revise that topic if you do not know that topic that I have listed here. Now you also need to know error intervals. Error intervals is very simple. It's like 6, and it's written like this, and its x is here. The error interval would be between 6 and 7. You also need to know negative numbers. Working with negative numbers, like -6 plus -1, that would be -7. And you need to know how to simplify algebraic expressions. That's very easy. And expanding single brackets, double brackets, and triple brackets. You never know which type of bracket will come. And you also need to know how to factorize into these brackets. And you need to know how to factorize quadratics with those x squared. And you need to know how to work with algebraic fractions and how to find nth terms. For example, if you have 6, 8, 10, and 12, the nth term will be 2n plus 4. Okay, I'm not going to go through how I worked it out, but don't forget to watch my YouTube videos to know how to find it out. So first of all, you need to know how to do the substitution in algebra. For example, you have to substitute the value of x into an equation, and you also need to solve equations, working with equations, and put equations and form equations to answer your questions. You also need to know how to change the subjects. This is also very common in physics. So if you have a physics exam, if you're doing triple science, if you have a physics exam and also combined science, then you're most likely, if you're doing a higher paper, that you're gonna have to change the subject of the formula to find a specific value. So now we also need to do inequalities. Inequalities are very simple, and quadratic inequalities, and linear graphs. You also need to know how to find the midpoint of a line. Like if you're given 2 coordinates, you need to find the midpoint of a line. And you need to know how to find the distance between 2 points on a graph, real life linear graphs, parallel or perpendicular lines, how to find them, solving simultaneous equations, and solving nonlinear simultaneous equations. You need to know how angles in a parallel line work, how to find bearings, angles in a polygon. Quickly, angles in a polygon, the formula is n minus 2 to find n minus 2 times 180 to find the sum of the interior angle where n is the number of sides. So now we need to know how to do constructions, low-key, area of a shape, and circumference. For area of shape, I would say trapezium and a triangle. Those are very two common shapes. And how to find a circumference. The circumference is d, the diameter, pi, or 2 pi r. Now you need to find the area of a circle, that's 2 pi r squared, obviously, and you need to find the arc length. You need to know how to find the area of a sector, the volume of cylinder, using Pythagoras theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and trigonometry, story from bad handwriting, and trigonometry, which is SOHCAHTOA, how to do 3D trigonometry, and Pythagoras. You need to know some of the exact trig values, not all of them, but some of them. And you need to know the volume of a prism, how to find the volume of a prism, which is the cross section times the length or the height. And you also need to know how to find the volume of a cone sphere. They have specific formulas. And you need to know how to find the volume of a frustum. This might come in exam and it might not, like there's a chance. And all the topics that I listed here, it has a chance of coming in. It's not 100% going to come up on it. It has a chance of coming up on it. And these are the topics that will come on it, but you don't know which one will come in. So now you need to know how to find the surface area of a prism, the surface area of a cone or sphere, and the metric units. These are the metric units. Like for example, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters equal to 1,000 millimeters, and all that stuff. You need to know how to work with time, translations, reflections, rotation, enlargements, congruent shapes, circle theorem, sine rule, cosine rule, and you have to find the area of a triangle with sine, and vectors, column vectors, and trivagraphs. These 4 are higher only. The rest are foundation. Back all of them, the rest are foundation. But if you're doing higher, all of these will come. All of these. But this will only come on higher. But for higher, all of them will come, but on foundation, only these one will come. So, now we're going to get to the graphs part. Now it's going to be the speed, distance, and time graph, and how to work them out using in the graph. Density, pressure, geometric proof, similar shapes, invariant points, frequency trees, two-way tables, pie charts, scatter graphs, histograms, frequency polygons, stem and leaves diagram. And you need to know how to find the cumulative frequency, how to do box plots, quartiles, estimated mean, combined mean, how to find the median in a frequency table and the mode, probability, relative frequency, tree diagrams, conditional property, Venn diagrams. And lastly, you need to find how to find the graphical simultaneous equation of a line, equation of a circle, equation of a tangent, instantaneous rates of change, average rate of change, area under curve, composite function, inverse functions, quadratic graphs, trigonometric graphs, cubic graphs, reciprocal graphs. And lastly, exponential graphs, geometric sequences, algebraic proof, quadratic formula, completing the square, transformation of graphs, and iteration. All the topics that I've listed here, if you did not know how to do them, quickly take a note of them so you know how to do them, and you can watch a video and do like practice questions on them, because your exams, like the next paper 2 exam, is going to be in about 2 weeks, and you want to get the highest possible marks possible. And do not forget to subscribe and like the video for more videos, and don't forget to watch my other videos.